Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? At me, well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit tired. Sitting here talking to myself every day in, day out, is actually quite easy, but going to bed still thinking about it, that's the kicker. And just to make things even more interesting, I've been sat here signing books since just after 6 this morning. So if you receive a book and you can't actually read what I've written, now you know why. An author's work is never done. So while I am still awake, let's roll the intro and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It's Thursday, the 18th of November, or at least I think it is. And as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, is the HSE even fit for purpose these days? We're headed down under for a spot of bridge demolition. Doosan underlines its commitment to innovation. We're talking asset valuation with the fine folks at Ritchie Bros. And as some of you may be aware, my new book has landed. We will also be playing out today with an extended film from our friends over at Hyundai, who have been reenacting the Squid Game, only with a little less death and carnage, thankfully. We'll get to all of that in just a second. But first, let's start with a peruse among the rich and the shameless to see who among them will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days.
Happy birthday!
And it's many happy returns to author Margaret Atwood and to actor David Hemmings, to the writer of The Watchmen, Alan Moore, and to 80s pop star Kim Wilde. I used to love Kim Wilde. To Metallica guitarist Kurt Hammett, goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel, and to the one from Anton Deck that isn't Deck, Anthony McPartlin. Many happy returns to them, one and all. I have a question. Do you believe that the health and safety executive is actually fit for purpose? Do you believe that it's still capable of policing demolition and construction sites? Do you believe that it makes a meaningful contribution to site safety and to the well-being of those employed within this industry of ours? It will soon be the 6th anniversary of the Didcot disaster. 6 years without resolution or explanation. But it's not Didcot that I want to talk about. While I still firmly believe that 6 years is far too long to investigate such an enormous tragedy, I do recognise the complexities of that investigation. I realise there are thousands of tons of debris and twisted steel to sift through, hundreds of witness statements to go through as well. But instead of concentrating on Didcot, I'd like to look at something a little more straightforward. On the 22nd of January 2018, a man called Ronnie Alexander froze to death on a remote wind farm site in Scotland. He'd been working as a security guard when the site was cut off by snow and the heating in his site hut failed. He was ultimately found by Scotland's mountain rescue team. He was lying face down and hypothermic. He died later that day, having never regained consciousness. So here's the facts. The man froze to death because the heating failed. Mobile phone communications were known to be poor. There was no backup generator should the heating and lighting fail, even though that had happened several times previously. The only transport capable of getting workers off site, a four-wheel drive vehicle, had become trapped in snow. The contractor involved and the security company have now been fined a total of £868,000. In a little over 2 months, it will be 4 years since Mr. Alexander perished, cold and alone. And yet, despite the presence of multiple smoking guns, failed heating, no backup generator, no suitable off-site transport or communication, it has taken 46 months to move from tragedy to prosecution. Almost 4 years on what seems to be, at least to me, an open and shut case. How? Why? And believe me, this is not uniquely slow. I was talking to someone on LinkedIn yesterday, morning Mick, if you're here, about a fine handed down to a rail company after an excavator overturned. That too occurred in 2018 and has only just made it to court. And Mick raised a couple of very serious questions over the time it's taken to investigate that incident. Is the HSE swamped by serious infringements involving construction equipment? Are they struggling to cope due to resource cutbacks imposed by central government? And to that, I will add one third and overarching question. Is the HSE even fit for purpose? I'd love to get your thoughts in the chat. Please let me know what you think. A lot of equipment manufacturers have been very busy this past year, launching new machines, upgrading existing machines, and developing new ways in which to fuel them without destroying the human life as we know it. One of the busiest has been Doosan, which has unveiled new excavators and wheel loaders, together with innovations like its transparent bucket technology, at a speed and a frequency that is fast enough to make your head spin. Well, the company has now gone away and captured all of that in a single short film that really encapsulates the strides it has made over the past few months. Sit back and admire the work of Doosan. And we're expecting even more great things from the team at Doosan in 2022. Right, who fancies a bit of bridge demolition from a land down under? You do? Cool, because so do I. Our thanks to John Emmanuel Giannicoris, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and the whole team at Metropolitan Demolition. That's the one in New South Wales in Australia, not the one in Wakefield here in England. Thanks for allowing us to share that film.
Axsoft and Svantec are your high-end partners for noise, vibration, dust and air quality systems, sensors and software. To find out more, visit axsoft.co.uk or call 01234 639 550.
And it turns out our friend from New South Wales is actually watching. So good morning to you, John. Thank you ever so much for sharing that film with us. I do want to talk about books, about our book review show from last night, and also about the launch of our new book, which is, as most of you will probably be aware now, called A Sight for Sore Eyes, Volume 2. But before I do that, we're going to take a very quick break in the company of our roving reporter, Peter Haddock, and a long-time friend of the show, Mr. Rupert Craven from Ritchie Bros. So let's see what the pair of them have been up to.
Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here today at the Maltby facility for Ritchie Bros, the auctioneers. And I'm here with Rupert Craven. You've launched Ritchie Bros Asset Solutions, a brand new service which actually is going to make a big difference to the industries moving forward, particularly as I talk about sustainability and how we manage assets and how we get better carbon and emission solutions out there. Tell me a bit about it. It's something different, isn't it? And it's a little bit unexpected for me.
We're not all about auctions. We've got far more than just auctions, and I think it's a great thing to bring up, which is what we call RBAS, which is Ritchie Bros Asset Solutions. So what that really is a way of simplifying the business, and we're trying to do that all the time to make it easier and simpler for people to transact machines. So everything we look at is to listen to the customer and say, right, how do you actually want to work with us? How do you want to manage your inventory system? How do you want to get that to the right point when you're ready to sell, and how easy can you sell that? So what RBAS is something that we've had for many years, right from when we started, which is really a contract system where you choose the machines as the customer, you put it on a list and you send it to the territory manager or to the yard, and you get those items added to the auction. We want to make that simpler and actually put it on as a computer system, as a platform that the customer has, where they can put their machine up onto that platform, add in the year, make, model, serial number, and click move to auction. That's all they have to do. So in a normal auction, we get a contract off every customer and we get a Schedule A. Now we don't have to have that. We get one contract signed, that's done. They get their log onto RBAS and they can add those assets straight from their computer, or they can type it in however they want to do that, click move to auction, and it goes straight into our system. So it's making it even easier. And then our discussion can be a lot more about which assets should they be moving, how does that fit in. And one of the great setups that we've got with that, which has two additional benefits of that, is the assets they move onto our platform, RBAS, which they put in from there, automatically get valuated by our asset valuator. So they can go on, look on that asset, click valuation, and it gives them a whole history of results. It gives them what the selling price range would probably be from there, and that's something that's open to everybody. You can go on to Ritchie Bros Asset Valuator, put your user details in, and you can use that yourself, but that comes as part of RBAS when they sign up for that. And the important thing is you can then track your assets and you can see when it arrives in yard. So it's really giving customers that insight to work really closely with us and put the machine straight forwards. And it's just little steps from that, simplifying the business, making it more usable and getting people to work even easier with us. So this is part of a big long project that we're putting together. Don't forget, we've got Mascus, we've got our marketplace, we've got our live auctions, and this is a solution that we can then get all the assets from the customer into an easy to manage platform, and then they can choose where they send them and how they wish to sell.
Thanks for that, Peter and Rupert. Now, things were quite bookish here at Demolition News Towers last night. We hosted our first ever big book review in which we reviewed 7 industry-related books. We also gave away a few as well. But before that, our friendly neighbourhood Amazon delivery driver arrived bearing the first of my new books, A Sight for Sore Eyes, Volume 2. That's what she looks like. There you go there. I can never do this bit. A Sight for Sore Eyes, Volume 2. That book is on sale on Amazon right now. You can find it by using the link that I've placed in the show notes today. If you like that kind of thing, if you can afford it, fantastic. If you can't, I fully understand. I'm not pushing this on anyone by any means, but as I say, we did review 7 books last night, 6 of which are actually available on Amazon. I'm just trying to remember. We did Dr. Demolition by Terry Cornby. We did 4 of my books, The Japanese Way, Why JCB is the Apple of the Digger World, My Dad Does Demolition, and obviously the new one. The only one that isn't available on Amazon is the book from Paul Ford, which is Dangerous Structure, Emergency Response. But you can find links to all of those. I'm going to be posting the film from last night on Demolition News a little bit later on this morning, but it's already on YouTube. If you just go and search for Demolition News, it's actually the last video that's been posted up there, so you can go and find that, and you can find the direct links over to all of those books that, as I say, are on sale right now. Shildon, up in County Durham, is about to see some of its housing stock refurbished as part of a £5 million contract by Live-In Housing. Mears Limited has won the refurbishment and repair contract, but that contract also calls for the demolition of several dwellings. And at the time of broadcast, a suitable demolition contractor has yet to be appointed. I have no idea why, because the North East has got some superb demolition companies. But you can find out more about that project lead and countless more just like it over at buildersconference.co.uk. And speaking of the Northeast,
the Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
So, at the beginning of the week, we brought you a very brief trailer video that Hyundai had released ahead of its dealer conference. That film featured more than a few nods to the Korean TV series Squid Game that has been a breakout hit on Netflix this year. Well, now Hyundai have released a film with even more Squid Game references, together with a look at some of the company's very latest machines. Now, the film I'm about to play you is about 6 minutes long, which is way longer than we normally play here. So I fully understand if you can't stick around. I will be here when the film ends with my usual mix of personal rants and stream of consciousness drivel. So if you can stick around, I'll see you on the other side of this. But it is a very good film. So take a look at this.
Let the game begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am S.H. Hyun from Product Marketing. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend this 2021 dealer conference. Behind me, you can see our premium Tier 3 model, HX520L. HX480L and HX520L have Cummins X12 Tier 3 engine with exhaust pump, and we have put our all cutting-edge technologies to these models. First of all, fuel efficiency has been highly improved by a new hydraulic system called IPC upgrade. If you operate 10,000 hours, you can save 30,000 liters diesel, which allows you to save $24,000 compared to 9 series models. With the HX series cabin and cowl, we now have cooler design and better convenience for the operators. Customized setting is available through 8-inch wide cluster. We expect to enhance the durability by 20%, with the arm width increased by 40 mm, variable shim on bucket pin, and increased undercarriage components. Main filters are concentrated in RH side for accessibility. Serviceability has also been improved due to the reversible fan and always air cleaner. In order to meet the customer's needs, we have added new options such as AEVM, proportional RCV, and rotating piping. With HX480L and HX520L, Hyundai will be the major player in the 50-ton excavator global market.
Form a pair. This time it's marbles.
Next, we have the new model HX220HD produced in our India plant. Our India plant has started to produce HX210HD and HX220HD from this September. They are almost identical to HX210S, HX220S in terms of appearance, performance, and quality. The only difference lies in location where they are made. Not only do HX210HD and HX220HD share the same engine, main pump, MCB, and motors as our Korean models, but all of their components are also compatible. We are sure that HX210HD and HX220HD will provide even more value to you since their standard features include heavy-duty boom, arm, and lower frame. As already proved in harsh Indian market, there's no question of the durability of this heavy-duty part. Hyundai will gradually implement flexible production through overseas plants to meet customers' needs and the expected lead time. Now, what matters for us is not the location of production. Rather, it is our brand, made by Hyundai.
This is the final stage. Tug of war.
Lastly, I'd like to show you our 9-series wheel loaders. Our 9S series wheel loaders will be integrated into 9 series from 2022. Equipped with Tier 3 engines, load sensing system, and bigger buckets, 9 series wheel loaders are now 11% more productive than 9S series. Operators feel more convenient with the newly added wing system and joystick steering option. Boom and bucket position setting is also available with a simple switch button in the cabin. Moving on to the appearance, frame and axles are colored in green-gray for a better visual effect. It looks more robust and durable. Two master models are available on HL730, 740, and 757-9 with parallel linkage. They can be utilized in more various fields with telefork and grapple attachment. New options have been added on HL780-9, such as short boom, additional counterweight, heavy-duty axles, and axle cooling system for marble application. Now, we invite you to experience the upgraded performance and a variety of functions of 9-series wheel loaders. Thank you.
You're still here. Good. Let me get this woman out of my hair and then we can start to land this, the misfiring aircraft that has been this episode.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up today's show. I'll be back here again tomorrow, usual time, usual place, for yet more of this old stuff and nonsense. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. But until then, as always, stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Thanks for watching, thanks for taking part, and I'll see you in the chat.